and welcome everybody to the BrakeDown, the Supporters Gaming League podcast covering all things SGL and whatnot. I'm your host, Debit, joined with me as my co-host, Sean. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I am as ready for more SGL action as I think I could have possibly ever been. I'm ready to get back underway. And then about yourself?
Oh my gosh, we've been a little deprived, a couple weeks, but it was a good break midway through a season. But now it's time to get back into action. But before we get back into action, we have something extra for you before we go back. A little piece of bonus content. We brought something to you last time with Pandy talking about organized scrims for SGL. Good talk to him. Go check that episode out if you haven't yet. But now we're going to be showing you another bonus content kind of episode where we're going to be interviewing Commissioner Chris Said, the guy you always spam Chris Said. So yeah, we're going to do a talk with him about the league and see where he feels about it halfway through the season. All right, everybody, welcome back. We have another segment for you this time. This time we have another special guest here around because we have yet another no week of SGL, but we're happy to bring on an admin that you all know and spam in Discord, especially if you're a player. Chris Said from Southmost SG. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
All right, John, lead us off.
No problem. No problem at all. Actually, obviously, welcome to the show. Second, I am very curious. Obviously, we're now at the halfway point of the season. There's been a nice break, which actually I think came at the right time because it's the halfway point of the season. How are you feeling about this season? How are you feeling about the development of the teams, SGL 1 versus SGL 2? And how are you feeling about the state of the league kind of in general? I know it's a lot, but, hey, have at it.
I'm feeling stressed. No, but to be honest, I think the coolest part of this season so far has been the community buildup and just the camaraderie that's been built that has not been there in the past two seasons. I think SGLCS kind of got us started on this path where we kind of, mixed everybody up and did a little SGL shuffle there for about 2 months before that kind of derailed into what it was. But, we tried something new, and I think it came out with a few positives. But anyway, especially with the addition of El Matador, those guys have just brought in so many players and people into the community and inviting people as well. There's people who would obviously love to come in and play with their teams, but are kind of not outcast, just kind of, private in a way, I guess you could say. I mean, Southmost is kind of here and there on the privacy or rather sticking to themselves for the most part. But, we pop in from every now and then to the Scrims channel and play a few games here and there. But yeah, that's been my favorite thing so far, is just to see how much the community has grown so far. As far as the league in general and how the season's going, I would say that it's kind of a wildfire in terms of where standings are. Obviously, the few teams are where they should be, and then others we're looking at unexpected positions so far in the standings. Of course, we're going into week 4, but as far as just production of the stream and all of that, things have really come together. Obviously, we had some hiccups in the latter end of the midpoint of the season. But as far as the production has gone and the quality has been awesome to watch unfold, and we just keep getting better. We just really need to get our streaming situation over as far as resources go and who's going to do what and when. Other than that, I think we're developing a really great system for a lot of different streamers, so long as they're inclined to help, can really elevate the level of production that we put out there, and we can just continue to push SGL into a more professional scene.
Good answer. I love to hear some of the response so far. It's interesting to hear that from an admin perspective. It's like, oh yeah, everything's coming crashing down, but season's still going.
Exactly.
We're fixing things, but hey, things happen, and we look forward to the streaming situation getting back to a better pace soon. But I love what you brought out about El Matador and the stuff that they've brought to the scene so far, especially the amount of scrims. I'm pretty sure Luis hasn't left Public One in days. Pretty sure he's always there.
I was tempted to disconnect him on my own self.
Definitely, for sure. But I have, I guess Sean and I have been in scrims a lot, but we've heard some rumblings, at least from the new players, as we play with them so often. Would SGLCS be a thing again? That would be my next question to you. Do you see anything of what we can improve from it, or do you see anything that we can kind of build off of it from it?
Yeah, so I mean, I would love for it to be a thing again. The whole reason why we decided to shorten this season was because as we continue to add teams to this, we can't imagine that we'd have everybody play everybody the entirety of the season. It would just drag on for weeks, and that's just not realistic when you consider we're not a paid production. Where everybody's doing this just for the love of the game, and of course, life is life, and priorities take priority. So as far as SGLCS goes, if we could build a better way to have teams mesh better, and want to show up a little bit more than maybe what happened the first round, then absolutely. Maybe we can rediscuss how to. Is that even a word? I don't even know if that's a word. I don't know if we can bring up the conversation again of how we handled the draft aspect, because although captains chose their teams, it wasn't necessarily. It was a blind draft. So if there was a way to open this up, I mean, obviously there's a clear way to do that, but we can't be so forthcoming with picks and whatnot. It would probably lead to some unbalanced teams. So it really, we'll just have to redefine how the draft goes. And if there's so many players, inclined, especially as we continue to grow, look how many players just want to show up and play on a daily basis in the scrims channel, So if we have more people like that who are not necessarily feeling like they're playing against their will, then if we have enough players, we can do it again. Absolutely.
There definitely has been a nice free play aspect about it, especially with how players I just want to come in and out. But I think there's been a lot of talks about structurally doing this, and I think there is a good opportunity for it to happen again. I know Firepulse has been definitely asking about it again, because I think he was really excited about it.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. But yeah, I think it was a good idea from the start. Maybe just something we can learn from. But glad to see you're still positive about it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I did definitely feel like it was a good idea, and I got a lot of positive response at the beginning of it. It just kind of derailed in terms of the availability of players, and we were also at the beginning of summer when the Delta variant wasn't a thing, so people were just running about, and getting vaccinated, getting back to life. Obviously when we started SGL season 1, everybody was forced indoors, and there's really nothing for anybody to do but to play video games online, watch people on Twitch, watch YouTube, watch Netflix, at home entertainment. And that was something we were able to get away with really easily when everybody's at home, always available for their own, health, obviously. So now that things opened up again, we're trying to mitigate our way. Obviously, the pandemic's nowhere near over, but we're trying to mitigate our way through how to stay relevant, I guess, and stay active in a way that's easiest for everybody to attend, and not essentially force people out just because life takes over at a certain point when things are open up again. So we're continuing to work on that, and maybe SGLCS was just ill-timed. Had that started last, let's say between season 1 and 2, I think absolutely would have had a lot of success there. But the camaraderie wasn't there yet, and now I think we're peaking, if not just going to continue to grow on this path. So yeah, absolutely, we could probably have another chance. And like you brought it back, it was a decent idea. It just didn't pan out exactly the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, execution is always a bit of a tough nut to kind of crack at times when you're dealing with multiple time zones for a single team. Whereas at least during regular SGL matches, it's only really one time zone for the whole team, hopefully. And so I think that probably makes it a little bit easier for scheduling during the regular season. But certainly when you're talking SGLCS, there were certainly moments where it was very difficult for entire teams to even be available. I know my team ran into that, and I'm sure Devitt had at least one experience with that during the run. But with that being said, something I've heard asked repeatedly from a number of individuals who are curious, is there any consideration, since you brought up that eventually you would like to bring SGLCS back in some form, is there any consideration to opening up a kind of a lower rank option or competition for golds, silvers, I dare say bronzes, hopefully not many of them, but opening up for the lower ranks, they definitely seemed very hungry for the opportunity, and maybe not to get clapped constantly by, I don't know, guys like Pandy and Masta on the pitch. Yeah.
Well, look, here's two problems with that. One, bronze, silver gameplay is not the most entertaining in the world. And then two, you're exactly right. They cannot compete, and then it drives them to not want to participate because they just can't hang in what we have now. So I was actually walking my dog the other day thinking about, just the disparity in skill level we're seeing in SGL2 right now. And I was in SGL 1 as well. Obviously, there's a few teams without any wins, or at least one team. I don't know. I need to look back at the standings. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is what's more necessary right now? Is it an SGL 3 or is it an SGL 1.5 in between 1 and 2? And so that's where I'm trying to figure out, how do we balance this out? Because there's definitely a lot of players who are on the lower end of the spectrum who want to compete, and then others who are, obviously willing to show up, but don't want to get on stream and just get embarrassed, time and time again. So if there were something such as an SGL3, for instance, I have no problem setting that up. I just don't know how a stream would go for that. That's even hard on commentary to try and commentate over some pretty low gameplay. That's honestly sometimes just a matter of, cars driving around and hitting each other, bumping into each other, and just, I don't know, it's almost a circus at that low level of the rank. So we'll see how that goes, but anything's a possibility, to be honest.
Interesting take. I'm definitely interested to see if a new league would pop up. I know there's a ton of interest, but sometimes it's hard to fit all those teams in.
Yeah, exactly.
So totally get it from that point. Well, that's going to about wrap it up here for this special guest commish talk with Chris Said. Don't forget to spam Chris Said in the Spam Chris Said channel if you are in the Discord. He'll love you forever.
The more the better, by the way. The more the better.
Let me know if y'all would buy a hashtag Spam Chris Said shirt. Sure. Thinking of new merch ideas.
Absolutely.
Thinking of new merch ideas.
Name your price. Name your price.
I wouldn't go that far, Devin. I wouldn't go that far.
Right,
Hang on, yeah, we could accidentally be sending a lot of
all proceeds go to a championship package for our SGL 1 and 2 winners.
Nice.
Now you know what I'm game. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for coming on the show. Glad to have you, and hope to see you around for the coming weekend of SGL.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Anytime y'all need me, let me know.
Thanks again, Chris.
Yes, sir. Peace out, guys.
Of the night. Here you go. You got Chris with an opportunity. Oh, it's a close shot. Nobody else from Southmost in front of goal. Death. Oh, this is dangerous right here. You could feel it. You could feel it. Mule had the position. Ruben not able to get up as fast as Mule did there. Mule Red just waited and then ended up getting kind of a half pinch off Ruben's car. What a goal for Lisinko Dose. They take all 3 matches with the Accused Monk Beerzikin duo. Then the Accused Monk Garden of Salad duo. We're going to OT. It's free Rocket League for everybody. Oh.
I'm up. Here it is. Whoa.
Oh, what? You only get 6 seconds of free Rocket League, folks. Sorry, not nearly long.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! You gotta feel for Los Verdes there. That was their chance. Absolutely their chance.
Yeah, got one back here. He's a little bit far forward.
That was a back of the car hit going backwards to palm tree.
that.
Oh, J-Dub with the just air dribble, tornado flip spin, drop it in front of palm tree with the catch. Just absurd.
Almost blocking it too. J-Dub almost blocked his own guy.
Miles will send this one to the corner. Tigers still keeping up that offensive pressure. This one awkward off the backboard. As Miles will take advantage of that. Alfani, big save. Julian keeping that one in. Pressure from Tigers is so good. Oh man, kind of a miscue. But Alfani kind of recollecting for Elmwood. Very important. Roboto, good double tap. Wow, what a shot.
Wow.
For the 3-1 lead during that second game. I definitely think it could have been a sweep. But the momentum shift from winning that game in overtime from game 2 really gave Tigers that push in the drive to win this third game. So that ball will expire. As time will expire, the ball will hit the ground, and Tigers will take the series 2-1. Great job coming back for the Tigers from that huge deficit in game 2. So if Luis can make something happen, good dunk from RGV. I believe that was Bigby. Luis will send that one to the wall. Let's see if he can capitalize on this advantage for El Matador. Pook keeping up the offensive pressure. Bigby kind of awkward in net. Let's see if he can get the double tap, and he will!
Gosh.
Wow, what a play from Pook in overtime. Taking advantage of that one, popping it over the defender, and getting the double tap over Bigby. Wow, what a play.
Oh my gosh, that was an absolute thriller overtime. Pook finishing off with that off the backboard. El Matador 2-0 in the series so far. I'll be honest, I kind of expected a 1-1 at this point, but El Matador are just hanging in right now, doing their absolute best. Once again, thanks to Chris, admin, for discussing SGL, the league, where it's at, what we could potentially see from it as the future, what the future holds for it. Sean, any final thoughts on it?
Man, I'm excited to see where the league is going, to see the unbelievable, I would say, passion that we're seeing from a lot of people right now, old and new. And I'm excited to see and watch more of these players develop. Seeing guys like the guys from El Matador who are supporting Luis, to see them stepping up in scrims. I mean, we talked about scrims last week with Pandy, but to see the improvement that they've had week over week, to just continue to see that growing, and to see where they end up and how far they can go and how far they can make it. I mean, they're not too far off from being able to knock on the door of SGL 1, and that kind of scares me for them a little bit, but in a positive way. Like I'd like to see them get there, and I'd like to see what they can do. And I feel the same way about teams like the Surge and NYC 12 and U Sector, and the list goes on and on. But it's just exciting time for the league, and I think an exciting time all around. And hey, we even got a podcast launched in this time, so
hey, who would have thought? Well, that about wraps up for us. A lot of excitement going around, and the season's not even done. Once again, we're halfway through. We still got a lot more action to go. Like this coming Friday and Saturday, check out all the matchups. SGL 1 on Friday, SGL 2 on Saturday. Bias for SGL 2. That action is actually, like, you cannot miss this. Even SGL 1, you can't miss anything. Literally anything. All the teams be lining up, good matchups coming to you. And you can check them all out at twitch.tv @Supporters Gaming League. SGL 1 on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. SGL 2 on Saturday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern and 12 Central. And you can always check us out at sgleague.online, as the website is still in continued update. As far as that goes, please stay patient. Admins are doing all the work they can possibly do to get that up and running. And as always, thanks a lot.